Hello friends, welcome to another video of Zeta Axis, and today we are going to discuss about pulses. In this video, we will discuss about gram, tuar, moong, urad and masur. We will see what are the conditions favorable for their cultivation as well as the regions where these crops are grown. In our previous videos, we have already discussed that of the total share of GDP, agriculture is 18%. However, if we see the total employment opportunities, then agriculture offers 46% of employment, and therefore it is an important sector. If we see the major crops that are grown in India, then rice, wheat and corn are the most important crops, followed by millet, soybean, rapeseed. Just wanted to remind that cotton and sugarcane are not included in this graph. The crops in India can be divided into 5 different groups: cereals, millets, oilseeds, cash crops and pulses. In this video, we will focus on pulses, while for each of these crops we have made separate videos. So do watch all of them. Regarding the data that we will be using in this video is that it is related to 2022-2023 crop production data of India. The reason is that the recent data is not freely available in the market. However, if you want to get some brief snapshots of the last year agriculture data, then you can visit this link and you will have the data about the last year. However, it will not be extensive. Now let's see what are pulses. Pulses are crops which belong to legume family. But what are legumes? Legumes are crops which produce seeds within a pod. So here we can see these are the seeds and they are enclosed in a pod. Even here these are the seeds and they are the pod. So these kind of plants are called leguminous plant. And the seeds are called pulses. So the pulses are edible seeds of leguminous plants. Examples are tuar, chickpeas, peas and beans. Pulses are known for their ability to fix nitrogen in the soil. So wherever it is cultivated, they will fix atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. That is, they increase the nitrogen content of the soil. Pulses are good source of plant-based protein. Now if you see the global production of pulses, then India is the majority producer of pulses, followed by Canada, China and Russia. Now what are the conditions for pulses production? Remember, pulses are not a single crop, but they are bunch or group of crops together. So pulses are grown on all 3 seasons. The 3 crop seasons for the commodity are Kharif, Rabi and summer, that is Zaid. So for Kharif we have Arhar, Urad, Moong, Lobia, Kulthi and Moth. For Rabi season we have gram, lentil, pea, lethyrus and rajmas. And then for summer, that is Zaid crops, we have green gram, black gram and cowpea. Out of these, generally these which are grown in the Rabi, they will be grown slightly in the region where there is cold in the winter season. For example, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan. So these regions will have these pulses. Now let's see gram, which is also called chickpea. If we see the global production of gram, then India is the leading producer of gram across the world by a very big margin. And if we see the conditions which are required for gram production, then it requires slightly warmer temperature from 24 to 30 degrees Celsius. However, it is a Rabi crop. It requires very less rainfall from 60 to 90 centimeter. It is a rain-fed crop. The soil it requires is sandy loam to clay loam. The soil is 5.5 to 7 pH, that is slightly acidic. It requires very less water. Therefore, it is important from groundwater recharge perspective. It is a Rabi crop. It does not like waterlogging as well as saline or alkaline soil. It does not like basic soil. We've already seen it likes a soil which has slightly acidic pH. India ranks first in the world in respect of gram production, and it is used here for both human as well as animal consumption. If you see the production of gram across India, then we can see that it is almost equally spread in the central part of India. If you see the major producers, then Madhya Pradesh is the major producer of gram, then we have Maharashtra, then we have Rajasthan, and then we have Gujarat, followed by Uttar Pradesh. Even in Uttar Pradesh, you will see that it is grown in the southern regions. So basically, it does not like that much cooler atmosphere, because in the northern region, in the winter, the cold atmosphere is very severe. Now, if you see the type of soil in which gram is grown, then we can see that it is again a mixture Here we have black soil in Maharashtra, and in Madhya Pradesh we have mixture of black soil in these districts, and in the northern districts we have alluvial soil. Here again we have sandy soil in Rajasthan. So we can see that it is grown on almost all types of soils. If you see the rainfall, then we already know that gram is a rain-fed crop, that it can be grown in the regions where rainfall is less. And if we see the region, that is this Madhya Pradesh and this Maharashtra region, so we know that already here rainfall is very less. Even in Rajasthan, the districts which grow these, the rainfall is less, and even here in Saurashtra region of Gujarat, the rainfall is slightly on the lower side. Again, it does not require a lot of water, so it does not require a lot of irrigation. So it is grown in those regions where there is not much irrigation facilities available. And again, it is important from groundwater recharge purpose, because if it is grown in those regions where there is severe stress like Punjab and Haryana, then it could help in groundwater recharge. Right now we see that it is mainly grown in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan have slightly lesser stress when it comes to groundwater. However, it helps in increasing the groundwater potential because there is less amount of irrigation is needed. If you see, then this is Madhya Pradesh, in which Harda, Raisan and Damoh district are the major producers of gram. Then in Maharashtra we have Osmanabad, Latur and Nanded. Then in Rajasthan we have Jaisalmer, Ajmer and Jaipur urban. While in Gujarat we have Jamnagar, Rajkot and Amreli as the major producer of gram. Finally, in Uttar Pradesh, we see in the southern region, we have Jhansi, Mohaba and Banda. This region is also called Bundelkhand. So here we have top 5 states with top 3 districts producing gram in those states. Now let's come to tuar. Again you can see that tuar is also a crop of legume family. If you see the global produce, then again India is the leading producer of tuar. The conditions for tuar production, which is also called pigeon pea, is that it requires slightly warmer atmosphere. It is a tropical or subtropical crop. So you can see that it requires 30 to 35 is the maximum and 15 to 18 degrees Celsius is the minimum. If it goes below this, then it will harm the crop. It requires less rainfall. It is a drought resistant and rain fed crop of semi-arid region, and it requires well drained soil, that is it requires loamy soil. So we already seen that loamy soils have all 3 types of soil and it is slightly porous, and therefore it is well drained. The soil is balanced, it is almost neutral, the water requirement is less. It is a kharif crop because it is a tropical crop and the sowing season starts from June to July. The things which it does not like is highly saline soil or highly waterlogged soil. It is a rich source of protein. All pulses are rich source of protein. Tuar is especially rich source of protein, grown in single or intermixed with cereals. So this tuar can be grown in mix with other cereals, and it enriches soil through symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Now we will see the conditions for tuar, which is also called pigeon pea or arhar cultivation. So remember, this is the second most pulse crop after gram. Gram is the most important pulse crop. This tuar is a kharif crop. It is sown in the monsoon season and harvested just before winter. Because this is a tropical crop, it does not require a cooler atmosphere. It is grown in rain-fed regions, does not require much rainfall, and it could be grown with other cereals like jowar or bajra. These are the regions where tuar is produced. We can see that it is concentrated here in the northern India and then in the central India. If you see the major states, then Karnataka is the major producer of tuar, followed by Maharashtra, then Uttar Pradesh, then Gujarat and then Jharkhand. If we see the types of soil, then we can again see that here we have mostly black soil. Even in Gujarat we have black soil. Here we have mix of black soil and slightly red soil. But we can see that the region where this is grown is adjacent to Maharashtra, so here also higher proportion of black soil is there. Then in Jharkhand we again have mixture, generally red soil is there, certain amount of alluvial soil is also there, and in Uttar Pradesh we have alluvial soil. If we see the amount of rainfall, then we can see that it is grown in the regions where there is lesser rainfall. For here We can clearly see that these are the regions which are on the rain shadow side of Western Ghats. So lesser rainfall occurs in this region. Moreover, here in the southern Uttar Pradesh, this is Bundelkhand region, there also rainfall is less, and in the Saurashtra also we find that the amount of rainfall is slightly on the lower side. Again, this is produced in the regions where there is very less irrigation because it requires lesser amount of water. This crop is also beneficial for the regions where there is higher groundwater stress. Here we can see that these are grown in these regions where there is lesser groundwater stress in both Maharashtra and Karnataka. These are the regions in Karnataka which produce highest amount of tuar: Vijaypura, Kalaburagi and Bidar. In Maharashtra we have Buldana, Nagpur and Chandrapur. In Uttar Pradesh we have Fatehpur, Chitrakoot and Banda, and in Gujarat we have Bharuch, Baroda and Panchmahal district. And last, Jharkhand, we see that it is produced on the western side in Palamu, Lathera and Gumla. Here we can see the top 5 states producing tuar or arhar and the 3 districts which are the majority producer in each of these states. Now let's see Moong, which is also called green gram. Now the conditions for Moong production are that it requires slightly warmer atmosphere from 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. It also requires lesser amount of rainfall. It is also grown in rain-fed regions. It requires well-drained, loamy to sandy loam, because this kind of soil is well-drained. It does not have higher water holding capacity. The soil is balanced. It requires lesser water. It is a kharif crop and it does not like saline soil or waterlogged soil. It is a rich source of protein along with fiber and iron. And the regions where Moong is produced can be seen over here. It is mostly in the western side. The majority states are Madhya Pradesh, which produces 43%, and then we have Rajasthan, which produces 30%. So only 2 of these states, they produce 73% or almost 3/4 of the total Moong production. Then the states of Karnataka, Maharashtra and Bihar. Again, we can see the regions where these crops are grown. The soil here is mainly of sandy nature, or some parts are there which are having alluvial soil. Again, in Madhya Pradesh there is a mixture of black soil and alluvial soil, and here in Maharashtra and Karnataka, mostly in these regions where these crops are grown, we have black soil. Again, these crops are grown in the regions where there are lesser rainfall, that is in the rain shadowed side of Western Ghats, as well as in Rajasthan or in the central Madhya Pradesh. Again, these crops does not require much irrigation. They are grown in regions where there is very less amount of irrigation facilities. These crops are also beneficial for groundwater recharge. So here in Madhya Pradesh we can see Narmadapuram, Narsimpuram and Raisan are the major districts producing Moong. Remember, Narmada river passes through here. It is the regions adjoining the Narmada river where Moong is produced in higher amount. Here we can see that we have Jodhpur, Nagaur and Churu as major producers of Moong. Then in Karnataka we have Dharwad, Gadag and Kalaburagi, and here we have Maharashtra, Ahmednagar, Jalna and Parbani. And lastly in Bihar we have Muzaffarpur, Supaul and Madhepura. And here we can see the states with 3 districts producing Moong. Now let's see Masur, which are also called lentils. So if we see the global production, then India is on the 2nd position after Canada. The conditions required for Masur production are, it requires slightly cooler atmosphere from 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. It also requires lesser amount of rainfall. It also requires deep sandy loam soil which is well drained. It requires neutral soil, and it is a rabi crop, and it does not like saline or alkaline soil. Here we can see that most of the regions which produce Masur are located in north of Tropic of Cancer, because here there is cooler atmosphere in winter compared to southern India, where even in winter the atmosphere is not much on the cooler side. The states producing Masur are Madhya Pradesh, that is 45%, Uttar Pradesh, that is 31%, and West Bengal 9%. So we can see that top three states, they produce 83 or in fact 84% of Masur. So the production is very concentrated in these three states only. Then we have Bihar and Jharkhand. We can again see that most of the region where these crops are grown, there is this Indus Ganga plain, that is the soil is of alluvial nature. Here in this region we have slightly black soil. Then we can see that it is grown in regions where there is lesser rainfall. Here Madhya Pradesh, which is the major producer, here there is very less rainfall even in Uttar Pradesh in these regions, although irrigation facilities is higher over here. We can see that here there is slightly higher rainfall, still here the Masur is produced. We can see that in Madhya Pradesh there is not much irrigation, but in Uttar Pradesh, in the regions where it is produced, we have higher amount of irrigation. Again, this crop can also be used for increasing the groundwater recharge because they require lesser amount of water. If it can be promoted in these regions, then it will help in groundwater recharge. Here in Madhya Pradesh, Vidisha, Sagar and Damoh are the major districts which produce Masur. Again, this is the region where Narmada river passes. Then in Uttar Pradesh, we have Jalon, Jhansi and Bharej. These are the southern regions which are close to Bundelkhand. So here also we will see that very less amount of rainfall will occur. Then in West Bengal, we have Murshidabad, Birbhum and Nadia, where majority amount of Masur is produced in West Bengal. And then in Bihar, we have Patna, Nalanda and Aurangabad. And in Jharkhand, we have Gumla, West Singhbhum and Goda. Here in this chart, we can see the top 5 producers of Masur as well as top 3 districts in those states. Now let's see Urad. Urad is called black gram or black lentil. The climate that is required for Urad production is slightly on the warmer side. It requires very less rainfall just like other pulses. It requires loamy soil and it requires slightly saline or alkaline soil. pH, we can see that it likes alkaline soil and it is grown in Kharif season and it does not like waterlogged soil. It is also a rich source of protein and phosphoric acid. Here we can see the regions where Urad is grown. We can see that it is distributed right from Uttar Pradesh to Tamil Nadu. The major regions are Madhya Pradesh, then we have Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. And if we see the top 3 states, then we can see that it is around 60%. So the production is not that much concentrated like other pulses. Still, Madhya Pradesh is the leading producer of pulses. In most of the pulses, you will see that Madhya Pradesh is the leading producer. Again, since it is grown all across the India, so it is grown in all types of soil. Here in Uttar Pradesh, we have alluvial soil. In Maharashtra, we have black soil. Then in Andhra Pradesh, we have red soil. And in Tamil Nadu, we have red soil as well as laterite soil. This crop again does not require that much amount of water, so it is grown in regions where there is lesser rainfall. So it is also a rain-fed crop. Again, we can see over here that these are the regions which are on the rain shadow side of Western Ghats. Here also rainfall is slightly on the lower side. In Tamil Nadu, rainfall is higher, but still this crop is grown here. We can see that in the Bundelkhand region, in Madhya Pradesh and in some amount in Uttar Pradesh, Urad is grown. Again, in these regions, the irrigation facility is slightly on the lesser side, but Urad requires lesser amount of water, so it can be grown in these regions. Again, it will help in groundwater recharge if it is promoted in those regions where there is groundwater stress. These are the top 5 states and 3 districts which produce Urad in our country. I hope you like our coverage on the pulses. If you have liked the video, then do subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. If you like what you are doing, then you can support us using the Paytm ID. Thanks for watching the video.